Well, yesterday we talked about many aspects. In the morning, when I had an opportunity, I spoke and I mentioned the reasons why I think such situation has arisen and what we can do. But for the sake of completeness of this discussion, I would state again a few points. The first point I mentioned was that there is not really the decline of interest in the students or young people. That is not the sole reason for number of students coming and joining in BSc and other science courses in Andhra Pradesh. As I mentioned, it is a more socio-economic reason than the lack of interest. All children are interested in science because it's a play thing. They would like to do science. Again, I drew a parallel saying that the women in schools, but a large number of girls join the schools. But as it progresses in colleges and the professional level, number decreases. Not because those girls are not interested in doing that, because they have socio-economic problems. They have other reasons for it. Particularly in science, you will succeed, or any profession you succeed. Critical age period is 20 to 30 years. That period, the women have other difficulties, so it's causing difficulty. So there are socio-economic reasons other than just decline in interest. That's one point I said. And how do we improve the interest? If interest is one of the issues, how to tackle that? 2-3 points I want to bring about. First point is awareness. Now, Professor Ramsamy mentioned that he was a science talent student, and that helped him achieve what is now today. I come from a very, very small place. I studied in a place called Huzurabad, which is probably 150 kilometers from here. When I was a student at that place, neither me, nor my parents, nor the teachers, nor the headmaster knew anything about science talent examination. I never wrote the science talent examination. I never had that opportunity at all. Now I don't want that situation to continue even after 40 years. This information must reach. That's the availability of Inspire fellowships. Despite the fact that we talked about so much about Inspire, I'm not very sure how many of you really have seen what Inspire program is. Please go back to computers that you have at home, type Inspire into the Google and get the information. DST is offering a fantastic opportunity for young people. We collect this information, tell them what to do. Just tell about Inspire program is there, Inspire program is there, people are talking about, they won't know. Please give them right information. This is the telephone number, this is the application, this is a place you can apply. How to apply? All this information must reach. So all the teachers who are here, kindly go through this website, print out if necessary, but encourage as many people as possible to apply for it. At the villages level, the talent is fantastic. The talent in village level is much more than what we think it is. We have to tap that. Again, taking one example that I had several years ago, an experience several years ago. I was interacting with these young children some time ago. One of the child, after I gave a lecture on molecular biology and DNA, and how DNA can be cut and pasted, and you can bring a DNA gene from one place to put other gene, all these things. You talk about fantastic high science. One of the school child, maybe about 7, 8 years old or 9 years old, he stood up and asked, can you put chloroplast into the human being? You can do so much of molecular biology, can you put chloroplast into human being? See, the reason why he's asking is that he recognizes that hunger is the problem. A 9-year-old child or 10-year-old child recognizes that hunger is a problem, recognizes that hunger might be solved by putting a chloroplast, which is a photosynthetic organism, into this, and you guys claim that you have capability of putting the genes. Can you do that? That's a question. If that question can be asked by a village student, we have no depth of talent in the country. Do we have any doubt that there is a talent dearth in the country? There is none at all. They don't have an opportunity. These people are not getting an opportunity. What is that we can do? We have to bring the awareness to them. And the only way awareness can come through the teachers, because children won't believe or listen to anyone else. Children won't listen to parents. They will listen to teachers. So teachers are the ones who can collect this information and pass on. This will be a very important activity to do, just make them aware. make the number of opportunities. At the same time, as I mentioned, science is an exciting thing. Science is a playful thing. And while you are doing science, you are playing for yourself. You are enjoying your game, but still you get paid for. But you are working for a bank. You are counting somebody else's money. They are giving you money, your salary, because you are doing some work for them. You build a road or do something for them, then they will give you money. But here in science, we are just doing what we want to do. But still you get paid for it. Not some money, but you are paid very well. So this is these are, I think we have to excite students by telling what is that which they can do. This awareness is the one which we have to do. The second point I want to talk about, science teaching. Everyone today are pointing out that we do not have laboratory facilities, no experimental facility, infrastructure is there, so teaching is not very comfortable and people are not able to get excited. It's perfectly right. Learning can be done by only doing. Without doing, there is no learning possibility. Now, infrastructure facilities are very minimal in all schools in Andhra Pradesh, and I think so is the case situation in any part of the country. Some schools, of course, are rich. They can afford to have laboratory facilities, but all those laboratory facilities also normally they keep under lock and key. Even if something is given, microscope or something is given, they keep under lock and key of the fear of spoiling. But what I believe is that we can do experiments from what we have in the house. What we have in the house, what is available anywhere, just pick up anything and we can start doing experiments. And Janavignana Vedika, which I'm a part of, also prepared a compendium of low cost, no cost equipments. Okay, low cost, no cost. You can make a pH meter for 300 rupees. Okay? How to make a pH meter for 300 rupees possible? Let us take these ideas. While waiting for something to happen, while the government to do something, let us do what we can do. Large number of experiments can be done by us at the school level, but at the same time, I would like to again request you people that teaching should be by learning. Statistical distribution, if you want to do, put a mark on the table, on the wall, just draw 2 lines. Ask every child to go and measure it and write down what they measure. The length of it, two spots you put, ask them to measure. If you measure the length and tablet the measure length, you plot the distribution, they will see. Children measured, the material is there in front of them, you only need a scale. Once you measure it and plot it, you see the distribution. The real value will be in the median and it will keep going back. And so the distribution can be taught to them. I think it's very simple to excite the young minds. They are very receptive and they will fall in love with science. But before we should fall in love with science though, of course. So many things that we can do. As again, I was just telling Ram Sami just before one of my experience of learning by doing. I don't know if the books are still there, but when I was studying 7th or 8th class, I don't remember, one of the textbooks, science textbook, had an electromagnet. I think I mentioned this earlier in one of the occasions. Electromagnet is like a U-shaped metal piece, and one wire goes around and goes to next side and goes to another wire, plus minus is put, this electromagnet. That's a picture given in the book. Now, as a 7th class student, I wanted to see how magnet works. I wanted to make a magnet like that. Now, where do I get a U-shaped metal piece? That is not very easy. So I had a blacksmith classmate. I asked him and he found small metal piece. He bent it U-shape by putting it into this furnace, then gave me. Where do you get the copper wire? Earlier days you used to have antenna wires on the radio antenna wires on the top. So one of the wires I picked up and made few turns here, put it into the electric plug. What would happen? Okay, you get electric shock, the wire got burnt, and no magnet. Now what happens? Do you believe? After that, do I believe science or do I believe what is written in the book? Everybody scolds you that you are spoiled, your fuse blown out, and that's the situation. I learned after almost 6 to 7 months after struggling, I learned that you need an insulated wire for a magnet, first of all, and you need a DC current for a magnet. So this is very difficult way of learning, but whatever I learned, I will never forget. Now I think what I'm trying to say is that we can learn anything by only doing. Science cannot be taught by just lecturing. And we must be excited about doing things, and let us accept the children to do those things. We need facilities, I agree. We need museums, we need all these things. I agree that we should be providing, and as from the academy side, from the government side, whatever one can think of, I will try to do whatever I can. But let us not wait for something to happen. We can do things from our kitchen. The kitchen is good source of doing all kinds of experts. Charu and pulse is good enough for acids. So let us think of that way of teaching. And then I made one more point yesterday, that after 10th class, the students finished, go to intermediate. After intermediate is completed, they have not many options. Again, because of the parental influence or whatever it is, society looks for success as financial success. There is no question about it. We also want that. Without money, we can't survive. Everyone of us want. I also have a car which is air conditioned and a good car. Everyone of us want that. But to get that, at the moment people think, in Andhra Pradesh at least, think that there's only two approaches. You either become engineer or become a doctor. If you are not becoming these two, you cannot get anything. Otherwise, you should become a politician. These are the only things that are happening for making money. But is that true? That is not true. 75% of engineering graduates are not doing engineering jobs. They don't have those jobs. They are doing menial jobs. They are 5,000, 6,000 rupees employee jobs they are doing. Now this fact is not known to large number of parents even today. Even today parents think that if you become an engineer, you will get a lot of money. Check with engineering colleges. How many engineering college seats are vacant? Engineering college seats are vacant in many colleges. Why? There's no takers. But this is not known to many people. They think still go for engineering. That is one problem. And the medical as well. Again, I mentioned yesterday that what is happening is, if a child joins engineering program, first 4 years, he finishes 4 years, he already become engineer. Medicine, after 4.5 years, he already become. You take BSc, after 3 years, you are nobody, you are nowhere. Now you have to pass another entrance examination, get to take masters. After masters also, still you might become a junior lecturer or nothing. Then you write another entrance examination, then you get a PhD. See how much uncertainty, how long the period is. Why would anybody choose this thing? I think that's where one of the issues. That's why I was suggesting yesterday that let us make 4-year BSc course, 4-year BTech course, 4-year MBBS course, 4-year BSc. This 4-year BSc is not a BSc stretched to 4 years. This BSc will be professionalized BSc. We bring professionalism into that. After finishing BSc, the person who comes out of the college would be able to do something. In the sense he is professionally capable of. If he is appointed in a biotechnology company, he will be able to do the fermentation reaction, he will be able to isolate DNA, he will be able to plasmid things. He must be able to do it. It is not that he just learned a little bit and can't afford to do it. We have to put that finishing school concept into this last year and make them valuable persons to contribute. Then, if they want to, they should join for PhD without going for masters. There should be no more master's degree. After 4 years, let them go for PhD. If they go for PhD, then if people want to do science, they'll let them go further. Other people can contribute to science. Both are possible. So by doing this, we might be able to improve. It is not that we are sure that this will happen. This is one possibility that I wanted to make a suggestion. Okay, these are the only 3-4 points I wanted to suggest, and I will leave the other panelists, and then we can continue discuss.